What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers, of course. I'll keep going every day, but today's video we're going to be talking about one of the forgotten players that was one of the best players in the 2010s, and Zach Randolph. And Zebo was one of the most consistent, undersized power forwards this league has ever seen. Like, he was like 6'6", 6'7", banging on people. He was showing that he was stronger than his size, he was showing that he was stronger than his size. That's all that needs to be said. But in 2001-2002 season, Portland Trail Blazers, he averaged 3 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and 0.3 assists. We're not going to see any significant growth till his third season. In his second season, 2002-2003, he averaged 8 points, 8.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 0.5 assists. Obviously, we see the growth of him continuing to improve. But his third season is where he really broke out, and he won Most Improved this year. In the 2003-2004 season, he averaged 20 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And his Portland days are remembered as his highest scoring seasons because when he was in Portland, he was a bucket. He had one jab, step, and go. That's all I can remember. They was trying to compare Kenny Lofton to him, but there's no really replicating what Zach Randolph was doing at that time, and it's not even replicating now. Like, they want him to bring back, they want the NBA to bring back that skilled power forward. But Zebo was really skilled. He go in the mid range, he step back you in the mid range, he put his shoulder in your chest, and he's gonna go lay that ball up. He's not gonna go dunk that ball. He's gonna lay it up on you, and he's gonna get past you with that one move and that one killer crossover, and that got the big man moving every time. But in the 2004-2005 season, Zebo averaged 19 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Continuing on his upward trajectory, in the 2005-2006 season, he averaged 18 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. And it's really shocking to me that when I looked up his career, he only had 2 All-Star appearances. Like, it didn't really make sense to me at all how 20 and 10 doesn't get you more than, I don't know, bro. Like, I said the same thing about Powell in yesterday's video. Like, how the fuck, it don't make sense, bro. But in his next season, he scored his highest scoring ever. In the 2006-2007 season, his last season in Portland, he averaged 23.5 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. Then he went to New York. He got the contract that he deserved. And in his first season in New York, in the 2007-2008 season, he averaged 17.5 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. Obviously, the Knicks weren't really doing anything, as I could remember. Like, they had a solid team, but they was overwhelmed with big men, if I could remember. Zach Randolph, David Lee, all of them boys. Marcus Camby was just arrived into town, so there was really no need for him. In his next season, he got traded the very next season, the 2008-2009 season. He averaged 20.5 points per game, 12.5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists with the Knicks for 11 games. And then he got traded to the Clippers, where he averaged 21 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And the next where he would make his stint known was in Memphis. And his Memphis days are what I could remember because I was really young, or I wasn't even really born when he was doing all that. But when he was on the Memphis Grizzlies, I at least remember watching the basketball games. But the 2009-2010 season, Zach Randolph averaged 21 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Continuing on, he was playing next to Marc Gasol, them being a dynamic front court. And they were a tough-nosed team. Like, it was only cemented when they went out and got Tony Allen. But that starting lineup of Mike Conley, Tony Allen, I believe Matt Barnes was on that team. I can't remember the small forward, but Zach Randolph and Rudy Gay. I think it was Rudy Gay, yeah. Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol, they were hard to stop, bro. But in the 2010-2011 season, his second season in Memphis, he averaged 20 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists. His last season really averaging above 20 points, and he was still putting up stats, yes, but he really didn't have that much impact on his personal stats. The next season, the 2011-2012 season, it looks like he got injured. He only played 28 games. He averaged 11.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. In the 2012-2013 season, he averaged 15.5 points per game, 11 rebounds, 1.5 assists, getting back to himself after the injury. And come on, bro, there was not really nothing stopping Zach Randolph. In their 2012-2013 run is what I remember. They played the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, they lost, but that was a tough Bulls defensive team. Like, they were a powerhouse. Even though Zach Randolph wasn't really known as defensive player, he was known as the offensive player, and I think he was the best player. It's a toss-up between him and Mark. In my opinion, at that time, I think Zach Randolph was the better player because I like offense better than defense. It's whatever you're subjected to. It don't really matter, but I just had a different opinion. In the 2013-14 season, Zach Randolph averaged 17.5 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. And the numbers going to stay the same for a while, even though he's about to retire soon, but he's still putting up the numbers. In the 2014-15 season, Zach Randolph averaged 16 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. His last time averaging a double-double, which is kind of sad, but hey, man, at least he was still putting up stats. 2015-16 season, he averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. In the 2016-17 season, his last season in Memphis, he averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. And these seasons in Memphis that I'm talking about right now, they really cemented him as a Memphis legend. And I'm pretty sure he has his jersey retired from the Memphis Grizzlies, which is cold-heartedly deserved because that era will never be replaced. We see the Ja Morant era now, and that tough-nosed Grizzlies team from back then, it really stood out. It really stood out why the Grizzlies are the culture they are now. They cemented the Memphis team because back then they were Vancouver. They were not really doing nothing, but Zach Randolph, Mike Conley, Tony Allen, Marc Gasol really cemented that. In his last season, he averaged 2017-18 season with the Kings, he averaged 14.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. But Zach Randolph's accolades don't really say it as much as the player he was. He was an All-Star in 2010, 2013, All-NBA 13 in 2011, Most Improved Player in 2004. He led the league in offensive rebounds in 2 of the last seasons in the NBA, which is crazy because remember, I said he's undersized power forward. He was still grabbing the boards over 7-footers. But in his career, he scored over 18,578 points. Like I said, not a lot of all-time greats have even accomplished that, and Zach Randolph did it. But let me know how you feel about Zebo down below. Subscribe. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all want to see some more, there's a video on the left and the video on the right. Click on them.